Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Brad Thompson welcoming you to BT's Ballers. Talking a little college basketball today with our College Hoops MD, Coach Brian Tass. Coach, how are we today?
Good. We're good. Good to be here.
Good to be there. Okay, I thought I'd give it about 48 hours for it to. It's never going to pass, but for it to,
Yeah.
because we can get to that down the road about how just this team, and I'll ask you some questions about that. But to the game. Uh, I think at least I think you put your finger on one thing, and you put your finger on the literally. I mean, literally, it seemed like the lid was on the basket. They missed four bunnies. They missed. Got one time they got three rebounds under the net, wouldn't go in. And with a team like Auburn, sounds cliche, but you cannot let a team like Auburn, do that to you. But other than that, I thought they played great. But even from the mental standpoint of it, it seemed like they always had when they would get to within nine, it's almost like they said, oh, they're double digits to them, if this makes any sense. They couldn't get past that in their heads going, it's double digit, double digit. And
Yeah.
I mean, I thought, we'll get to this, I thought Holloman played like absolute dog shit. Uh, he did. So, the other guys, Richardson was okay. The big men were the big men. They did, Fiddler, I mean, they had a chance if they didn't give up 17-0 run, but they did. And unfortunately, the season is over. Your thoughts?
Yeah. The chances that we had were a very razor thin line of chances, and our room for error in that circumstance is very little. And Michigan State can't come out and shoot as poorly as they did. You can't come out and get handled by their big man. I mean, handled. He could have had 100. I said this early in the game. He could score 100 today because they had no answer for it whatsoever. None. Aside of that, yeah, they could have shot a little better, maybe got back in it and made some adjustments. But the better team won. I will say that the better team won, hands down. 10 out of 10 games that they play, the better team will win there. And Fiddler contributed a little bit. Jace Richardson had a couple of spurts where he contributed a little bit. Kohler showed up. I thought he was a shining moment for the Spartans, that Kohler really played well. And like you said, Holloman, complete garbage of a game. And we'll talk about it later, I guess. But I mean, I know where his head was, and you can't do sports at a high level when your head is so far up your where, trying to
I'll say it was up his
figure out
fucking
life,
ass.
figure out life, you know.
Yeah.
So
Um. Yeah. The very first possession, and I didn't want to text you, but the very first possession when they got the ball and low, they got it so quick. They got it so quick and low to Broom, and he just boom, boom. I was like, oh boy. I was like, that's nah. I said, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. So I think you're right. I think the better team won. I do think that there were some major distractions in that game for a couple of reasons. Like I said, I want to push that off to the end. Um, but you know what? Fuck it. Okay, let's talk about it seriously
yeah,
because
we'll get
now I'm
right
back
at it.
to it. Now I'm back to it.
I'm ready to get the gloves off.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, because just talking about this now. So it comes out yesterday. Uh, I saw reports. You confirmed them. Uh, comes out yesterday that Holloman, Trey Holloman, the 1 for 11. All right, Trey Holloman, the Spartan dog, the Spartan. Hey, Coach Izzo's gonna let me kiss the floor. In the last game, decides to say, "Oh, I get this call in my ear. There's a lot of bag. I'm hearing a lot of bag. I'm hearing a lot of bag. Go where the money is." And he's supposed to be a Spartan for life, according to him. I'm a Spartan dog. Fuck you. All right, fuck you. He goes and enters the transfer portal. He goes and enters the transfer portal. Just when, and this is not Coach Izzo's fault, but he preached and he preached and he preached This team has so much family. This team is so much connectiveness, or that's what we were kind of joking about beginning. And it shows that a lot of the team did, and a couple of them duped one of the off the court, one of the nicest men, one of the if I would kill to have my son play for Tom Izzo, because I know he's playing for a second father. And to be distracted, because he was, Trey Holloman, I hope you tear your ACL the first practice at a school you go to, because you're a piece of shit. So, but I'm probably over the top, but floor is yours.
I got two different perspectives on it. As a fan, kiss my ass. Bottom line, kiss my
Right.
ass, and don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. That's my opinion as a fan. Okay, it just we're in an era of fanhood where we went to schools and we cheer for the schools we went to, and that those days are over by far now.
Yeah.
But this kid just basically took it and just shoved it right up everybody's you know what. Okay,
Mhm.
that's basically what he just did as a fan. All right, as a fan. Now, from a coach standpoint, in this day and age and era, listen, this is a totally different situation in that these kids are getting paid. The whole thing is the Wild West. There's no rules. You don't have to tell anybody anything. These kids have agents. So, as a coach, you get it. Like, you understand this could possibly happen. And so, it's not shocking to a coach that this could possibly happen for a kid who didn't start, who scored 20 a game sometimes, decent basketball player, nice, a coachable kid who probably goes somewhere and do something. It's understandable there that this could potentially happen. Is it infuriating? Yes. Are you ever going to get back to the days where you're building a program? Never. It is not happening in this landscape where you will build a program. What you are doing now is shuffling cards and playing the game and hoping an ace turns up and you've got enough money to bid. That's it, coach. That's where we're at. And that to some guys that might be fun. Put all your chips on the table. Maybe that's fun. Maybe that gets a juice up for you. But for some other guys like me, I don't that doesn't float my boat.
No, no. And some people watching this will be like, "Oh, what a dick, man! He wants a kid. He wants a kid to tear his ACL." Uh, he's not an amateur athlete. This is not amateur sports anymore. The young man, you cannot tell me that 2 days, yes, 2 days, basically, we already know it was a done fucking deal because you don't come out over something that crescendo when it's a heartbreaker. I mean, the family, right? Most of them knew it was a family. They 2 days later, no, you son of a bitch, because what did we say? We said they can start talking during the portal. So guess who called up? Yo, dude, get through the season. Good luck, win that natty. And we got that bag waiting for you as
Oh
soon
yeah.
as you step off that court. Hopefully, right after the Final Four is over, you win a natty. So bullshit. Now, if I'm a 19, 20, 20-year-old, whatever the fuck old he is, and I'm thinking, holy shit, man, I got like 10 million, 15 million. Even subconsciously, you're thinking, hey, man, I got to end this. And he sure looked like he had one foot out the door. Uh, fuck him. Seriously, fuck him. Xavier Booker, you're the most, in my opinion, the most overrated, disappointing player in Spartan history. Um,
Inept.
was he a 4-star? You know?
Inept.
Yeah. I think I see where you're going here with that. Who's the other guy that's leaving? I
Garrick Norman, a nice guy for a second tier program. Somebody who's, a kid who he could probably play at and you'll see the list of schools that he might go to, and you're not going to recognize any of those guys from the tournament. They'll never make the tournament in this landscape. So he's done playing tournament games. He's just out there to collect, a T-shirt and somebody from Dunkin' Donuts to sponsor him. Who cares, man? Nice job. Good stuff.
I mean, you know what? But on the other side of the coin with that, with him is let's say he can go to a mid major. All right, he would. He'll be going to a mid major, or maybe he drops down to a Division two. Who knows? We don't need to judge his talent, but I always thought, at least this transfer portal, okay, I think that would be the reason. If you want to transfer for that, and that would be the reason, because you're not good enough that you want to play. Cool,
Right.
okay, all right. But when you got a son of a bitch like the other Trey, I can't even think of his name now. Fuck him too, from
Yeah.
Michigan. He is
Donaldson,
going.
Trey Donaldson.
Yeah, Trey Donaldson. He's going
Three
on his
teams.
3 years.
He didn't even move into the dorm yet over there at the Ann Arbor City College. I mean, he's living out of his car still. He didn't even move in.
I can't, man. I can't. It's so unfair to a guy like a Freddie Fiddler. It's so unfair to a Kohler. Even though he played completely putrid, it's unfair to an Atkins. That these kids have
Yeah.
their head already, their head and their feet, their body basically out the door, and maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't have, but I don't think that all the players there were pulling the rope in the same direction this time. And I think the man, and he's a grown ass man, and he's seen everything in his fucking life, but I still don't think he deserved it. People say, "Oh shit, man, look at the contract, look at the shoe deal, look at this, look at that." Well, at least he stays, and at least he's earned it. At least he's earned that shit. Okay. So yeah, people are gonna say, "Oh, he's got a bleeding heart because this is so." Well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I don't think a man who treats these kids like his father, like their own sons, like his own sons, deserves something like that. But hey, what the fuck is the world we live in? Fuck it, it's a cold hard fucking business.
Well, and I don't want to see it end. I hope it ends soon because the landscape of this whole thing is a disaster. But maybe he'll be the benefactor of it as well. And we'll have a fun season to watch next year if you're watching basketball and you're going to appreciate a good game. I don't know, but for me, the days of building a program, that's over. I got to disconnect myself from that and just be able to watch a good basketball game of kids who are on the TV. I don't even care what their names are, and just watch the game like I will for the Final Four, because I don't have any connection to any of these teams, and I don't really care who wins. Honestly, and so I hope there's a good game.
Yeah, yeah. It almost reminds me of. It really does. And actually, when I was going to Indiana University, I see this guy. It's like it's Nick Nolte's walking around campus, and he's driving around on a golf cart with Coach Knight. I'm going, what the hell is going on around here? Then we find out they're filming a movie. Okay, they're filming Blue Chips. All right,
Yeah,
and Izzo now obviously Nolte cheated in that movie. Obviously, I'm not gonna. Oh, Pete Bell. No, it wasn't Pete Bell. Yeah, it was Petey Bell.
Pete
He
Bell.
cheated. Yeah, he cheated in that movie. Okay, and he didn't want to do it, but he did it, and he couldn't. His conscience couldn't handle it. Right? Okay. I don't think Coach Izzo wants to do this. I don't think Krzyzewski wanted to do it. I don't think Saban wanted to do it. I don't think he wants to do this. I think he's going to try to do this. Like Pete Bell did. I think he's going to say, you know what? Bring him in. Bring the money men in. Call up Ishbia. I mean, good God, you talk about a guy. Hey, yo, Matt, screw it. I'm selling my soul. All right? And let's say he buys a team. Let's say he buys a team. He wins a national title. You think that's really going to be a special team to him?
But yes, it would be, because you got to do a whole bunch of things to get that group to play together. And I said this a couple like a week ago. Everybody bags on Calipari, and he was cheating or whatever. But the thing was, is he got all these guys, these one and done guys, to somehow put it together in a locker room and not kill each other, and do the job that they had to do. And I think there's some credibility to taking guys that came from who knows where and where they did what they did before, and maybe they didn't even have practice twice a week. Who knows? And trying to string that together into something good. I think there's some credibility to that. But then in my eyes as a fan, it's not the same as the old days when you took kids for 4 years, you got them good enough to cut the nets down. I think that's really special in its own way. And maybe, if you win another one with a bunch of guys you brought in this year, cool. That's a cool thing too, but it's just not the same.
Well, see, and that's the thing, and that's because you know him a hell of a lot better than I do. I just watch him from afar, and I think he's so amazing. But I just, I think to him it would be hollow. I almost think like it would be like Coach Bell going into that fucking press conference. What if Coach Izzo? Let's say this guy is the generational talent. He's the next LeBron, and he's not going to the league. Let's just say he's not going to the league. All right, he would, but let's say he's not. How is Tom Izzo going to take a guy that could be making more money than he is in a year and have another guy that's making a ton of money and another guy, hey, he could have went and coached the goddamn Cavaliers, but you know what he said? Fuck it, I ain't no pro. I don't want to coach LeBron. Okay, remember that back to back, he could have had the Cavaliers job, right? I don't see him. I don't see him wanting to. Could he? I think he could. I don't think you can see him wanting to basically manage. You know,
Yeah,
4 millionaires, 7 millionaires. He'd be fucking man. I'm gonna go take the goddamn Wizards job if I have to do that. I'm gonna ensure that we get Cooper Flag, and I'm gonna do it for love of the game because they're getting paid. These guys, could you see an 18-year-old or even like Cooper Flag's only 17. Let's say he's making $10 million a year. Izzo's running them hard. Izzo's got the goddamn shoulder pads on in the practice, right? And he's running them, and they're doing just getting it. And who's gonna be like, "Fuck you, man! I'm going to the league. I ain't doing this shit." And Izzo say, "Get the fuck out of my gym." I'll be like, "I'll get the fuck out of your gym. I still got my 17 million, motherfucker."
yeah.
And it's I don't know. I'm going off too far on him. I pray that he would do it, but I don't think he'd enjoy it. You know,
Who knows
and
what's going to happen? And like you said, Richardson. I think from what I've seen, he's out the door. So you can't count on him coming back unless he just dips his toe in without an agent. I can't imagine that happening. But dips his toe in, he would be able to come back like a couple of players did before. Miles Bridges came back and
right.
did play an additional season. If he does that, cool. Michigan State's going to survive this. This is not like the end of the world, the end of the program, the end of the world. It's Trey Holloman, okay? A guy.
No,
We'll replace this kid. We got
right.
the Tang kid on the bench who's just as good or better, who didn't get to play a lot this season. I know he's that good. So we're going to be. We got Jeremy Fears. We're going to be fine. That team will be fine. It just the whole mechanics of being a fan anymore is very disjunct, in my opinion, to what it used to be.
Question for you.
Yep.
Tomorrow, you go on social media and you see Cohen Carr in the portal, and then 2 days later, you see him at Arkansas because he got the bag. How would that make you feel?
If you're watching this, it's because you love sports. If you love sports, why not show that love with some new gear, like the two jerseys behind me? Fanatics has a lot of stuff on sale right now, and if you go down in the description, click the link of whatever team that you want, it'll take you to the Fanatics page, buy some stuff, and we get a small portion. It'll help us out, and you'll get some discounts on some good gear.
Cohen Carr.
I would be I would be upset as a fan because you lost a kid who could do potentially good things for you. But then again, I'm Cohen Carr. I'm 19 years old. I'm in the phys ed department at Michigan State. Somebody calls up and says, "Hey, come to Arkansas for our department and do that." I'm not even calling my parents. you know, I'm not even going to call my parents first. I'm going down the street to have a couple beers and then call my parents. It's just I understand where these kids are, and
Right.
any of us would do these kinds of things. Probably there's not that much loyalty to it, but Michigan State's got to put some cash up, I guess. At the end of the day, that's the game now.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he definitely from speaking as we both did, and I still do. Is yeah, there's not much money I want to become a physical education teacher. A lot of joy in it. A lot of joy. I
Yeah,
love going
yeah,
to work every day. I love my kids, but yeah, phys ed. Let's go through kinesiology. Yeah.
yeah.
Richardson. So he's gonna want to. We talked about it right before the show. He's going to want to take the $3 million. That goes quicker than you think, Coach. But he is a kid. That is a kid. Well, I don't know if it goes quicker than you think, but you get my point. So he wants to take $3 million, and he wants to go be he wouldn't even he'd be in the G League for at least a year, if not two. Okay, uh, he comes up. He's the 10th, 11th man on the bench. All right, might get a good coach. Might get a good coach to get developed, and he's getting 8, 9. Maybe he's getting 11, 12 minutes a game. Okay, when if he wanted to stay work under one of the best coaches in the game, if and all of a sudden say, you know what, I am going to go to class, like I am going to push through this, and I want one more year. Hell, dude, go one more year, and then just get get the first semester done. Say fuck that, I'm going to the league now.
Yeah.
Now I'm going. That's who they've been doing that since
Right.
the end of
Yeah.
time or whatever. I've been doing that since Moses wore short pants, but I just do that because, bro, I know you probably got generational wealth with your pops. I can't believe your father's getting behind this because the dude was not just a Spartan, he was a dude in the NBA, and he knows. You can't tell me it. He knows his son is not going to be anything. So I have a hard time him saying, "Yo, yeah, son, man, go to the league." I'm gonna love traveling to fucking Portsmouth, Ohio, to sit in a building that's got 12,000 people. Hey, man, but it's 2 for 1 hot dog night, and the hot dogs are only 75 cents because you can't get anybody to come in and watch you play.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I don't. I can't believe it. But hey, you know what? If I
Well,
like you said, go ahead. Go ahead.
he has to do this from the standpoint of get feedback. I think
Yep.
that's an amazing thing of it.
Yep.
And I don't know what the rules are anymore because there aren't any rules, but they used to have to hire an agent in order to declare and go all out and not have a chance to come back. And if you didn't hire an agent, you could come back. So it's smart and would be advisable by 99.9% of people for him to go, do the tryout camps, get feedback, get exactly what you need to do and what your gap is between where you are and where you want to be, and then come back and fix that stuff when you don't have. Now you're getting paid to fix this stuff where 5 years ago you weren't. So
Mm-hmm.
he can get his NIL in college still and
Yep.
fix the things that they're telling him he could get fixed so that he can go higher and get a bigger payday next year. I know that's going to happen. That has to happen. That should happen. Please
Yeah.
let that
Yep.
happen for a
Mm-hmm.
kid. But don't hire an agent if you don't have to, and have the option to come back and play college basketball.
I can't believe that his father again. This guy's a great guy. I can't believe that his dad wouldn't already have his ear low to the ground. Who does he not know in the NBA?
You're right, right.
Get his own feedback. If you want to go test the waters, then who the hell am I to say? All right, well, hey, you're going to be a first round draft pick. You're going to be in the range of 2025. Dude, do it. I don't see it. I don't think you see it. I think he needs to
No.
stay in a year one more. Get Matt. Yo, Ish. I need Jace to get $5 million this year. I need him to stay one more year, and because I care about Jason. I don't want to see his basketball career fizzle. Matt, give him 5. It's going to be more than the 3 he's going to get from the NBA. Do what you got to do because Izzo needs nobody. If you know what I mean. I just think this kid needs to play one more year. I kind of like the kid. I've sung
Yeah.
his praises. I just don't think
Right.
you'll ever see him again. His game is not even close to being complete.
No.
He's got a lot of flaws in his game. A lot of flaws in his game. His jump shot looks like, his jump shot looks at me at my prom night. I'm fucking everything around in there, but I ain't hitting a hole. All right? That's what his jump shot looked like. Okay? I'm just saying. It did. It was a fun night, though, still. But I wish the best. I do. I do. So we can move on. If I don't even want to fucking talk about the other games, we can find some time on the weekend or something
Yeah.
to talk about them. I don't want to talk about that shit. It's just depressing, anyways. But before all this bullshit happened, went on a Sunday night when they all you sit back and you reflect on all the things that Izzo said about a family and connectiveness and just some of the parts greater than the whole. you know better than I do, but obviously every team to him is special. I just think that this may have been to him his most special team because he didn't have dude. Well, he's got one dude thinking go to the NBA, but I just think of this saying, you know what? Not only was it the best coaching job, 18-3 with these guys, 18-3 in the Big Ten, won the Big Ten. I just think maybe in his heart of hearts he's saying, man, these guys, they are so special to me. This is my team. This is the best job I've done as a coach, and I love these guys. I love every player, and I love every year. But this team's my most special. I don't
Yeah,
know your
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. And if you look back at the last 5 to 10 years, there's been issues. There's been guys that were a problem, or there's been issues at the university that everybody's had to deal with, and things like that. And then there's been a couple. Last year we were sitting there before the tournament started. We were wondering if they were going to be in the tournament, and
Hmm.
and so there's been some years where there's been a lot of ups and downs and bumps and bruises. Some guys didn't want to play and toe the line, and you were wondering if they were going to go early or not. This group was locked in for the entirety of the season. Barring the last few games where maybe we suspect that there was some head cases, but listen, they played together. They played hard. It looked like good basketball a lot
Right,
more than it had in
right.
the last few years, where the offense, I don't know what they were doing out there. And I just, like I said it from the beginning to the end, I really enjoyed watching this team. My sadness of this team being out of the tournament is that I can't watch them play anymore. I really
Right.
like these kids. I really like the effort they gave. I like the coachability of them, the togetherness, the camaraderie, the whole thing. They started playing. The first game at the exhibition was in the Uper Dome. It was fun. Tom's mom was there. The whole season was special.
Hmm.
Records were set. It was a hard Big Ten season to win. And yes, so that's why I think the claim to it in recent years, since a long time, it's been enjoyable to watch this team play at the
Hmm.
level they played at.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would probably look at you if he was here and say, "Yeah, that's spot on." I mean, I'm not. I don't want to make this about me. Actually, I want to make it about my boys because I can relate to that. I mean, and it's a shout out to them, but this is exactly how I think Izzo feels. I had a team this past year, and it's 18U, but it's elite travel baseball. It just as everybody out there would probably know if they watch. But this team was so close. I mean, we had about six guys that came back, but the guys that we added just boom. I've never seen anything like it. I've had some great teams that are close to my heart, but we won three championships and we were in the final fourth for the rest. But we had no business. Every kid's playing in college. Don't get me wrong; they're all playing in college. But we're going up against guys who got guys going to state. All right, they got guys going to Michigan. Okay, on paper, we're supposed to. I mean, we're windshield bug. We're one of those throw-ins in a pool. Okay, we fucking beat. All right, teams that were ranked in the state, and I mean, you got pro scouts coming there to watch them and shit like that. Couple, we fucking mercied. We didn't, and you know what? We played absolutely fabulous. It wasn't like it was an upset. We kicked the shit out of all these guys. We won 31-5. And this team was a family to me. They were my sons. All right, they were my sons. They were my family, and they helped me through a lot of tough times. Without getting into it, most talent, not even close. Not even close. All right, but most special because all we did was win. And when we parted, man, it broke my heart because I'm gonna look back at these kids and I'm never gonna forget them. Hell, I asked for all their jerseys to be autographed and given to me. All right, and some of them out there, you still owe me some. But so I can understand what Izzo says. It's when you're not supposed to win as you did. It's painstakingly tough when a team is special, and I think he feels that way, and I can relate to him. But to me, you win a natty is your best year. It just is the best year you've ever had. This to me is the second best year. It is. So,
Yeah,
but like I said, I wanted to get more into the games with you. I really did, but we've got time to do that. I think it's a better show to keep it around this. The great times. All right, let's focus on those. All right, Holloman, fuck you. All right, seriously, I hope you tear your ACL. I hope your career's done. I hope they take the money from you, whatever program you're going to. I do. You're a piece of shit. But let's focus on the job. Let's celebrate, and we did. Let's celebrate the year that MSU had, because at the beginning of the year, people would be saying, you know what? If you say, hey, they're going to go almost to the Final Four, they're going to win the Big Ten, they're going to go 18-3 in the league. They'd be saying, sir, the nearest methadone clinic is 3 blocks over, and it's the left building on the left. Okay, because they would think you're on crack. All right, and these guys achieved more than anybody ever thought they would. So to
Well,
me,
and to be fair, I'm not a Michigan fan by any means, but to be fair, they had a great season. They put it
they
together
did.
where they were supposed to be off the radar again too, where they had nobody. They had the season last year in the absolute dumpster, and put some things together where you're looking at 3-4 weeks back from the end of the season, going, we're going to have to beat Michigan. Anybody who was at the top 3 or 4 teams are going to have to beat Michigan to win this championship this year. They were the team to knock off. Michigan State happened to get them at the right time and knock them off twice to win it outright. But we were all nervous about that, and everybody has to be honest about it. We were all
Yeah.
nervous about that, and I wouldn't want to play them again either, because it'd be a coin toss at who is going to win that game. So hats off to them too for coming and taking what they had to start the season and kind of putting it all together to have right things happen at the right time, to have a 3-game run into the tournament. That was pretty exciting for a Michigan fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Coach, I think we're getting soft in our old age. I really do, because
Yeah,
I'm sitting here. I'm sitting.
I just spent a minute talking about Michigan in a positive way that I didn't use the F word.
I mean, I, I'm sitting here calling them Purdue. I'm giving them. Matt Painter's the greatest, man, and I'm throwing. You get a bouquet. You get a bouquet. And now you're talking on a minute and a half about, hey, look at Big Blue. There's seriously, I think we're getting soft. I think we should have the early bird special for 4 o'clock. Then go to bed at 7 with a cat on our lap, a blanket, and some nighty time tea.
Yeah,
You know what? Maybe that'd be a better life than watching this shit of of whatever. So, but with that, I think we'll call it a day.
yeah.
I know you're going to the Cubs game tomorrow. I envy you. I envy you. Let's
Friday game,
Friday.
opening day at
Okay.
Wrigley Field. Brad, I've never been to an opening day, honest to
Ooh,
God. So, my brother, my dad, we're getting together there at Wrigley Field. It's going to be special. We'll probably be wearing a raincoat or something like that. But you know what? It's kind of cool.
okay. Now make sure you pack some liquid IV. All right. Make sure you pack the Advil. Okay. And hey, drink one for me. All right. Drink one for me. And don't call me for bail money. I'm fucking broke. Okay. I don't need to be bailing out 3 Tasses. Okay. You go call. Hey, you go call Ishbia. Okay.
Okay.
He better have money to give out.
Yeah.
So, but no, Coach, enjoy the weekend. We'll hook up. And so for folks, this was kind of a wild one, but appreciate you joining BT's Ballers. As always, my dude, our college hoops MD, Coach Brian Tass. I love you, man. This was fun.
Love
We're
you
not
too.
done talking basketball yet, but it's a good wrap on the Michigan State season. So you take care of yourself, brother.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. And with that, we out.